What's up, boys? How's it going? Favorite Commissioner coming at you here for another pre-recorded message. This week we got the League 10 Week 14 recap, and this one also is going to be a little bit of a summary on what happened in the regular season this year. As you all know, we're through the regular season. The 14 weeks are done. Congratulations to those who made playoffs. Better luck next year to those who did not make playoffs. Kind of what I'm going to go through here is we kind of all know what happened, but I'm going to go through the matchups kind of quick, or at least try to go through them quite a quick. You know how I am when I try to make these videos shorter than they should be, or shorter than they need to be, I should say. But I got some little end of the year synopsis stuff that I've been working on that I want to get finalized before I put this out. So, anyways, without further delay, we're going to dive right into it. So, first one we got here is a matchup between Matt and Mitch, and congratulations to both you boys. You both made playoffs. Good on you for doing that. Both teams finished 8-6. Matt wins 122 to 112. Like I said, Matt 8-6 finished in second place, locked himself up a bye week. Mitch, on the other hand, fourth place. He will be playing next week. Matchup here we have for Matt. Patty Mahomes finally showed up, got him 20 points. Justin Jefferson, no surprise there. He usually gets mentioned to this 21 points. Matt had everybody but two people get him double-digit points. So, not like record-setting week by any means, but hey, a win is a win. Lock up that bye week for him. Mitch, on the other hand, 30 points out of Tom Brady, and that's it. Like I said, he had 112 points, so not a whole lot to talk about there. But like I said, congratulations to both teams. They made playoffs. So congratulations to those guys. Next matchup we have here is between, hold on one second, bear with me, we have between Nate and Brandon. And Nate took another L. He's been doing that a lot lately. 124 to 143. Brandon gets the victory, and both teams lock up a Week 15 playoff matchup. Nate finished in third, Brandon finished in fifth. Matchup wise, Brandon had 23 points out of Leonard Fournette, and that's it. Again, worth mentioning anyways, 124 points. He had a lot of double-digit guys, but he also had one guy get him 0.4 points, so there's that. On the other hand, Brandon, 143 points, 26 points out of Taysom Hill, 21 points out of Chris Godwin. He started something called Westbrook Ikhine. Sounds like a white guy to me. He also started Alvin Kamara, who got him 25 points. So 143 points, very solid, respectable week out of Brandon. Like I said, both teams make playoffs. Neither of them get a lock up the bye week, though. So they'll be playing. Each will be playing this next week. We only have 4 teams playing this week, so most of us get a bye, but for you guys, you're playing for your lives, so get ready. Next, we have the bookends. We have Mike versus Corey. And Mike, I shouldn't say came out of nowhere. I mean, don't get me wrong, he did not come out of nowhere. But I'll dive into this a little bit later. Mike, for the first time I think all year, was in the lead in the league, and he picked a really good time to do it. 8-6, finished in first place. Congratulations, Mike. You won the regular season, so you win $50. That's one of the prizes we give out. 192 points. Really good week to put up a 190 spot. Not that you need to do it against Corey, who did 120, which honestly, let's be honest. For Corey, that's probably above average. But yeah. Corey, like I said, bookends. Corey finished in 10th place. He's been out of playoffs for like 5 weeks already. Mike's team, Cooper Kupp, 31 points. Dalvin Cook, 35 points. George Kittle had a stellar week, 34 points. And 27 points out of Kansas City's defense. Corey, on the other hand, had James Conner get him like 33 points, which I think was like a third of his points, or I don't know, whatever. He also had Terry McLaurin get him no points. So there's that. So yeah, congratulations to Mike on the $50 and first week bye. Matt, he and Matt do not have to play this week. Next, Cinderella story. Ben. I'll get into this in a little bit here. But Ben also won himself $50. Speaking of winning $50, Ben also won himself $50. He had the most points scored the whole regular season. His point total was 1,997.86. The next closest was Mike with 1923. So both those boys had pretty good years. But Ben was the last guy to make playoffs, 6th place, 7-7. Ben did not start out well this year, but hey, doesn't matter how he started, it's all about how he finished. 177 to Perk's 110 points. Perk locks up 9th place with a 6-8 record. Ben 7-7, 6th place, or 6-8 record, 9th place. You know what I'm trying to say. Perk also got a weekly low score again. I think that's the second week in a row he's got that. So again, we'll dive into those little statistics here later. Matchup for Ben: Justin Herbert, 25 points. Jamar Chase, 25 points. Andrews, 29 points. Renfro, 29 points. Dallas' defense, 25 points. Like I said, he got 177. A lot of people worth mentioning. Perk, on the other hand, Matt Stafford, 23 points. And Aaron Jones, 21.5 points. Came back from that injury, but too little too late. And lastly, I'd say matchup of the week. It had its implications. And really what happened was, as bad as I feel, okay, so quickly, I won 155 to 142. And basically what happened to this matchup was I stayed in 8th place at 7-7. Nick also in 7-7, 7th place. So both of us missed playoffs. I could have made playoffs, but basically the way the other matchups played out, it wasn't going to work. So basically the only thing that happened from this matchup is I pulled Nick out of playoffs. So sorry about that, buddy. My bad. I would have maybe had a chance of making playoffs if Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams did not get him 65 points on Monday night. But I digress. My team, Josh Allen, 36 points. Najee Harris, 25 points. Javonte Williams, I can never remember. Is it Javonte Williams or Jamal Williams? It's Javonte, isn't it? The place for whatever. I don't care. The Denver running back. I also had 23 points out of my defense. And I started somebody called Guyton, who, make fun of me all you want. I legitimately did not know. It is Javonte Williams. I legitimately did not know that guy existed, and I started him. So, tells you a lot about my team. He got me 18 points. Aaron Rodgers for Nick, on the other hand, 30 points, 21 points out of Mike Evans, and 34 points out of Davante Adams. Like I said, those boys came back and put up some serious points towards the end there. So, just super quick, like I said, the 4 people who did not make playoffs, Nick, myself, Perk, and Corey, we all get a bye this week, and then we play each other for the plate. Mike and Matt get a bye this week in the real championship bracket. And then Nate plays Ben, and Brandon plays Mitch. The winner of Nate and Ben plays Mike. The winner of Brandon and Mitch plays Matt next week. So, like I said, I threw together some little statistics here, and maybe they're not super exciting, but I kind of wanted to go through and just see a couple things and just, again, see how interesting it was. First off, I'll list this out too since I have it. Weekly low scores. So, as you all know, we do not do weekly low scores in postseason. So, weekly low score ends, and we take this money. So, it's 14 weeks times $5 for each week is $70. We take that and we put it on some sort of a small parlay or a sports bet down in Iowa. Mike, you had 2 weekly low scores. Matt, congratulations, no weekly low scores. Nate, congratulations, no weekly low scores. Mitch, congratulations, no weekly low scores. Brandon, you had 2 of them, so you owe $10 to the bet. Ben, even though you had the most points, you still managed to get a weekly low score. Nick, you had 2 of them. I had 1. Perk, 4 weekly low scores. You suck. Even Corey only had 2, and he finished in last. Perk had 4. That's a lot. That's $20. Thanks, Perk. Appreciate it, buddy. One thing that I thought would be fun is just to see, so I actually went back and recreated the standings for every single week. So I wanted to see like the ebbs and flows of how it went, if you kind of follow me. Jeez, we're already 10 minutes. God damn it, I just dilly-dally. Like, for instance, at no point in the year was I ever higher than in 8th place. So a fun little tidbit there. Mike Started in 4th place, was in 7th place for 3 weeks, up through week 7, and then he went from every week he went up a spot. He went from 7th to 6th to 5th to 4th, no, to 3rd to 4th to 5th to 4th. So he was never higher than 3rd up until this week, and then he's in 1st place. The other one that I thought was interesting was Nate. Nate was in 1st place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 14 weeks, and he managed to finish at his season lowest ranking in 3rd. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's really good to always be in the top 3. You picked a really shitty week to fall down to 3rd. Let's see. Corey actually at one point was in 6th place for a couple weeks. That's kind of interesting. Perk was up as high as 4th. He fell down to 9th. Nick, your highest was 5th. You just teeter-tottered around that benchmark the whole entire time. Matt was never lower than 4th place. Mitch, hold on here. Mitch was never lower than 5th place. Week 7 he was in 5th place, but otherwise he was 4th or higher. That was the only time he was ever in 5th place. Brandon was as low as 6th, was as high as 2nd, but finished in 5th. So yeah, just all those fun things. Another thing that I did was I looked to see who had the longest win streak and the longest losing streak. 2 interesting tidbits here. Corey, no surprise there, had the longest losing streak. He recorded his last win on week 9. So, fun little tidbit there. I had the longest win streak. I recorded my last loss on week 9. So, again, fun little tidbit there, whatever that's worth. The other thing, there was another one I was going to make fun of for, I think, Nate, obviously. I mean, who else would I make fun of? Oh, yeah, so Nate finished with 8 wins, right? He had his 6th win. He had 6 wins by week 7. So that means so in week 7, he got a 6th win. So from week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, in 7 weeks, just kidding. I'm not that drunk. There's not that much hooch in here. In 7 weeks, he only got 2 wins. There was another one, too, that I was going to make fun of. I can't remember. Maybe Brandon. I can't remember. And then... God, there was another one I was going to look up too. Oh, who had the lowest score of the year? That's what I was going to look up. I think it was Perk. Yes, it was Perk. 68 points in week 9. Congratulations, Perk. That was pretty awesome of you. And then Ben put up the 224.5 spot at one point. So, I was working on making these all into graphs and like kind of trying to create a bunch of cool visuals. And when it was all said and done, there was so many numbers, so many, with 10 of us and all these things, it kind of looked like shit and it was kind of hard to read. So I just decided, I'm like, you know what, instead of, I was going to put this whole thing together and have you guys look at it, just, again, I get more entertainment out of these numbers than you guys do. I know that. It's more self-serving than anything, but there's always a couple fun little tidbits in there, like Corey getting his last one in week 9. That's fun. So, anyways, again, congratulations to those of you who made it into playoffs. That's awesome. Good for you. Remember, we're doing the Empire thing. I think that's the word for it. So Matt won last year. He made playoffs. So if he wins, I think it's it's at least 120, maybe $160. But if he wins the championship, he wins that money. So everybody should collude against Matt. You heard it here first. Yeah, I guess I don't know what else to say. Congratulations, like I said, to those who made it. Good luck to the 4 who are playing this week. And another reminder, too, not that it really matters, but it just popped in my head. We voted on that the final standings are how the playoffs work out. So the implications for that being, at your end of the year rankings, when I put them in the spreadsheet, it still matters. So even if you're in the 5th and 6th, if you want to get your average up. And, again, also for the plate, too. We are playing for the plate. Plate does not happen at the end of the regular season like it used to be. So, wrapping it up. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week.